People who pooped on the bathroom floor in high school, why? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more. Okay, it wasn't a bathroom floor, it was the floor of a laundromat at an apartment complex at which I lived. I was 12 and got home after walking from school. But Dad hadn't gotten home yet, so I was locked out of the apartment. For the record, as a kid I didn't shit at school. Couldn't. So now I didn't know what to do, but I knew the shit was coming. I tried holding it in, I promise. I moved around, tried occupying my mind with other things, tried running. Next thing I know, I'm in the corner of the laundromat shitting on the floor. God, I'm so ashamed to admit this even 15 years later. I have nightmares about the cleaning staff or the unlucky tenant just trying to get their clothes out of the dryer and coming upon a steaming hot shit right the fuck there. I try to convince myself that they all must have thought it was a dog, but I remember. That shit was distinctly human. It haunts my soul. On my first deployment, someone took a massive shit in one of the toilets and covered it with an entire roll of toilet paper, and it stayed like that for days. Then, someone shit on top of that first layer and covered it with another huge wad of toilet paper. About 2 weeks later, someone added another layer of shit and toilet paper, effectively creating a shit lasagna. Eventually it all disappeared. I'm not sure how, but I just know one day it was gone and the madness was finally over. A few months ago I actually walked in on this person literally taking a shit on the floor. We were the only ones in there. It was a couple of hours after school had ended. I really didn't know what to do and was still for a few seconds before she started frantically talking and said something about it being an act of defiance or something, and was saying she hated the school. I kinda just laughed it off for a second before leaving and going to another bathroom. I didn't say anything to a teacher because I think she was a 9th or 10th grader and I don't know her name. Definitely an interesting part of my education. In our high school the refried beans literally looked like poop, so I once put it on the bathroom floor as a joke. It resulted in many angry Facebook posts. My chemistry teacher told us a story about a student who I'm positive was an old god of lore. He took a shit in a cabinet of the most hated teacher in a high school of 3,000 students, and that old cunt let it sit there for weeks. It hardened to the cabinet, and the only reason it got taken care of was because someone reported the horrible smell. Why? Because she told him he couldn't go to the bathroom, no reason given. There is a mystery suspect making a mess of the bathrooms at my business right now. Not a school, grown-ups-ish work here. Throwing used toilet paper on the ground, pissing all over, wiping poop on the toilet paper dispenser. They go to the bathroom with no cameras outside, but despite that I've still narrowed it down to one of about 12 people. I'll catch you eventually. You think this is limited to high school? I've heard horror stories from my friends who work in niche professional offices where people poop on the floor and smear it all over the stalls. I'm using one of my throwaways for obvious reasons. I doubt anyone will read this at this point, but it's quite personal. I'm in therapy for a lot of things right now, and something I've researched a bit about is something that I did as a child that's about the same what Op asked. I moved a lot as a child. I wasn't at the same school 2 years in a row until 8th grade. In the earlier elementary years I used to smear my poops on the walls of the stalls. I remember it feeling out of body to me, like it wasn't me that decided to do it, it just happened. I've learned pretty recently that it's likely due to sexual abuse in my very early years. It's something like not feeling in control of your own body, so you're taking control of something. It's something that you make, that your body makes, and this is really all there is to do with it besides flushing it. I didn't do it every time I pooped, but until like 5th grade I caught my poop on some toilet paper just to see how much it weighed. I never touched it to my skin or smelled it or tasted it. It was more of a catch and release sort of thing. And sometimes I would smear it. We're going to do EMDR in therapy about it soon to see if that's the source of a lot of my deep shame feelings. If anyone here has read this far, if you catch a child doing this or hear of someone that got caught doing it, keep an eye out for them. Be an ally by, at the very least, being kind to them and deterring further abuses on the playground. Help the rumor die if you can, or just don't spread it. That may be a child in need of the most dire kind of help. Edit, spelling and missed words, edit a bit more. This has been a very unexpected show of support, and I thank every one of you who have commented or PM'd me. I hope your awareness and learning helps us collectively and individually end the various cycles of abuse that plague our planet. I'm nothing near a professional on these matters, just have found myself in a point in my life where I've been able to focus on my inner self and helping it heal from shadowy images I've unknowingly held in my head since I was very small. Having said that, please feel free to reach out to me via PM if you'd like to talk. This is a throwaway for me, so I feel quite comfortable being very honest. Seriously, thank you all so much for the awards too. Didn't even know we had a platinum one. So this is slightly off topic but relevant nonetheless. When I was young I went to after-school care at a local rec center. One day I was there and went to use the bathroom. I was taking a leak at a urinal and I kept smelling shit, and I figured someone had just took a huge dump recently and that's what I was smelling. So I finished up peeing and getting ready to go wash my hands and just happened to peek at the ceiling. I'm sure at this point you understand where this is going, but directly above where I was peeing, there was a turd stuck to the ceiling. Sophomore year of high school, a bunch of friends and I were drinking at this dude's house. We'll call him Greg. This was our first time drinking more or less, and we were just chilling, having few drinks. We were playing GTA and Greg walks into the bathroom, comes out a few minutes later, and sits down. Soon someone else goes into the bathroom, comes back and asks, almost like he's trying not to laugh, "Did someone take a shit on the floor?" We all get up to investigate, and sure enough, there it was, a big, slunking turd presented to us in the center of the cool linoleum like it was on a silver fucking platter. We laughed ourselves to tears, looked up, and saw Greg sitting there. He is trying his absolute best to not start laughing, but this is the funniest shit he's ever seen. I ask him between my laughs, "Did you shit on your own bathroom floor?" To which he replies, "Yeah. I don't know, I thought it would be pretty funny." For the same reason people knock over a garbage can or plug up the sink, it's a small act of anti-social behavior. I worked in a movie theater as a teen. Right in the middle of the bathroom floor someone dropped one of the largest turds I've ever seen. The main log was incredibly dry and about the width of a Pringles can. I still debate to this day whether the poor bastard shat that out real time, or multi-shat in an actual Pringles can and then dumped it on the floor. Given the size of the log, the time it would take any normal person to squeeze such a massive Grogan out, and the absence of blood, I'm leaning toward the Pringles can theory. Edit, thanks for the awards and opiate poop education everyone. I can answer this question. One of my brother's friends pooped on the floor of the bathroom while my brother and his other friends were outside the stall. Apparently the guy sat down on the seat like normal, but with his left ass cheek on the right side of the toilet seat. He said when he saw the poop hit the floor it was the funniest thing he had ever seen. Later on one of the janitors was heard saying, "I just can't believe it. I don't know how it happened." It wasn't in high school, but when I was a young kid out, public library was the spot to go to meet up other kids to walk around town. The security guard was a notorious asshole who would make groups of over 3 kids leave because of gang activity. After a few months of this going on, a few of the groups of kids would shit on the floor in the bathroom knowing he was the one that had to clean it. He didn't work there much longer. I had a kid at my school draw in his own feces. He was a little disturbed, but not in ASD group or anything. Only reason someone found out was because he went back to class and wiped his hands all over the whiteboard, which was pretty vile. There was a tradition in my college freshman dorm that someone's would shit in the hallway trash cans on move-out day, supposedly to get the freshmen out faster. I suspected it was our raw, but what a way to end a year. Someone just destroyed a bathroom at my middle school I work at. It doesn't punish the school, a teacher or a principal. It punishes the custodians, who happen to be some of the nicest people you will ever meet. Thanks for watching, please leave a like and subscribe for more content.